Hello, welcome to my page. This is Esther at Stampin' Star Creations. I managed to successfully load my live onto YouTube last week, so if this is any good, I'll try and do the same. Thank you so much for those catching this on the replay, either on Facebook or on YouTube. It's nice to have your company. Today the plan is to use some scraps up on my desk. Now, I don't know if anybody caught the video that I put out on my Facebook page yesterday. Excuse me. But it was a sped up video of me trying to tidy my craft table. Excuse me. The frog always comes when I'm talking live. Why is that? I'm just going to try and call up the comments on my other screen at the same time as doing this, multitasking. So because I was clearing up my craft table, I then ended up with a pile of things I still wanted to sort. So today I'm going to turn them into cards, hopefully by the end of this. So welcome. Thank you. I can see somebody joining me. Right, let me just call you up on my other device and we'll get started. Oh, hi Mindy. I didn't recognise your icon there. So bear with. Hold the line, caller. Okay, so hopefully I can catch comments if I miss them on this device. So I have this on my table, so I won't forget to tell you. If you are interested in attending my Flowers of Friendship workshop, it is with this stamp set and there is a matching punch to go with. I'll try not to fall off my chair when I reach for it. Here we go. So there's different bundles for this. You can have the workshop bundle for £35, but if you need it posted it'll be £38. So that includes the stamp set and the punch and your kit to make these cards that I'll show you in a minute. Now if you only fancied one or the other and didn't want to go for both, so just the stamp set or just the punch, then it's £30 or £33 posted. If you can attend my in-person workshop and you just want the workshop only without the product, it's £12. And then if you've got this stamp set, maybe you're a demo already, you have this stamp set and want more ideas, then for the video tutorial it is £6. So just send me a Facebook message, drop me a line, send an email, whatever way you can contact me, and I can let you know more about that, or let me know if you're interested and I can let you know how about you go paying for that. So I must admit these ideas have a couple of these are taken from inspiration from a couple of other demonstrators that I found online. This one is from Julie Kettlewell and I've adapted it to use it with this card. This is using the blackboard technique, and then this one I've created with like a half wreath. So do let me know if you're interested in any of those classes or the video workshop. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so on my desk you might be able to see piles of things already. So I've kind of sorted, I have sorted my scraps that I was gathering yesterday from my sped up video into piles in the hope that today, once I get these turned into cards, then they can clear off my desk and I can concentrate on other things. So I have got a few bits I want to work on. So I think I'm going to start with this one here. So I'm a bit early, but next year for, what's it called? St David's Day. So this is the Welsh national flower with the daffodil. And it's been sitting around on my desk for ages and I even checked what date it was next year. And it's apparently the 1st of March. Hi everybody, do comment so I know that you're in and watching and that I'm coming through fine. So this daffodil was from a download which is still available on the Stampin' Up. If you go head over to my Stampin' Up shop, you'll see it there. It was for a international day of sorts. We tried to figure out last time and I looked it up and I can't remember. Now I liked this paper. This comes from the host pack. So if you spend £150 you get access to some exclusive papers and stamp sets, and this was one of them. And I liked this side here because it reminded me of the Welsh I used to use wool a lot and do a lot of textiles, and it reminded me of that. So I wanted to use the black and white thing. And I found this tiny bow and I thought I don't want it to go to waste. So I just need to turn this into a card. So I was thinking I could have this in the background, maybe, somehow. So we need to work on it. Once it's made, I can put it aside and not have to worry too much more about it. So bringing in my trimmer, which doubles up as a score tool as well. Very handy. It's got all the measurements on there in centimetres and inches. Created another scrap, but that's okay. I've got a black and white pile happening. Now I wonder if this is going to be too long. I'm just going to grab out my box of cards because these have got pre-cut bases. And it means now I've obviously scored that a bit funny. I've got a bigger lip on that one. Let's just mount it on a bit of bright yellow. Now it might mean that I separate these. I wonder whether I should separate that and have it as two separate elements rather than as one. Let's do that. I think I'm going to, I keep saying I think I'm going to. I am. I'm going to separate them. That's a bit easier now to deal with. Now I might trim this down also. Okay, my background is a little bit plain, so I might work with that and see what we can do to make it less plain. Might need some something. Okay, so that's as far as we've got. Good morning. Hi Jennifer. You think it's your first live? Welcome. Just happened to notice I was live and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Wowzers, that is early doors. Okay, I think I was going to do some dry embossing, but I think I would just add some stenciling to the back, or maybe some stamping actually with some black. Okay, let's have a think, because we don't want to detract from our feature points. Trying to think what I could add in the background for a nice texture. I'm looking at, oh, maybe some leaves. Oh, hi Barbara. Hi Trish. Your first live as well. Today is the first live for a few people. Congratulations. Come on in and welcome. Lovely to have your company. I think I'm just going to go leaves. Let's see what happens. So today is very much using up scraps day today. I don't need that, but could do with a bit of that. So if a card has got the focal point on the front, you don't want to detract from the focal point, but we're just adding some feature in on the sides and in the background. I can even go a little bit wayward, and I'm going to cross it over like that. Okay, just bring these back in, see what they look like. Yeah, I like that. It just gives an element off to the side. And I think I'm going to go down the other side, because the focal point, we've got it running in a strip down the middle. We're just going to add these down both sides to make it look a bit more parallel. Esther grapples for a word to use. So you can always just mount up your stamps and create backgrounds by doing that. Okay, I think now I'm going to just run my ink pad down the edge, because I could use a sponge, but I don't want it to look too dark, but I want a border to this card. So I'm just literally running my ink across the edge. I'm using maths words, am I? That's unlike me. Now, I do wonder whether we need to mount this on a little bit of black to make this one stand out. Just so happens I have some black card on my desk. Find a piece that looks just too small. Oh, is it going to go? Oh, yes. There. I think we'll just add a small black border. I love it when I've got a scrap that is just the right size. So rather than cutting and sticking afterwards, I'm going to stick this straight down and then I cut around it. Now sometimes I would cut out the middle of my card to avoid waste, but this is a small piece and it's come out my scrap bag, so I'll let it go. A bit like Elsa. Let it go. Right, and I'm going to just add some black border to this nice paper too. It's a funny day here. I'm feeling very muggy and hot, but it's very blustery and windy outside, and it rained this morning and now it's dried up. I'm risking it for a biscuit and put some washing on in the hope it'll blow in the wind and get my washing nice and dry. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. So let's I'm just going to clean my stamps up. I'll do that. So before you stick it down, just line up where you want your things to go, and ideally you want there to be a matching border around say the top and bottom in this case, and then I've got a nice border in between. I tend to stick the biggest thing down first. In this case it doesn't really matter, but it just, then you've got the biggest item down, so that fills up the most space, and you've got more of an idea of where or how big a border to put for the next piece. I hope that makes sense. And sometimes things make sense in my head, and when I try and explain it, it doesn't always come out. Excuse me, alarm. You're not for today, you're for next week. So next week, actually I can tell you now, if I do a live, it's going to have to be a super quick one because I've got to leave a bit earlier for an appointment. So I will try and come on, but it might have to be a super quick one card. No faffing like today. So I'm just cutting down some foam dimension. How is everybody today? Sorry, I feel like I've come on here, rushed in, started talking. Is that supposed to be hello ladies, Elizabeth? Or Lilias? Did you mean to say Lilias? Now what I must remember, if this is going onto YouTube, I've got to read out comments. So if you say something, I've got to say who said it and what you've said. Get in that habit. So there, that's going to be our St David's Day card from my friend for next year. I give her a card every year because I know she celebrates it, although she lives in England. I think it's rather nice, and I think she's not likely to get it from anywhere else, and she's not on Facebook, so she won't see this. There we go, one card done. Thank you, Renee. She says good, even. Oh, Lilias. There is somebody called Lilias. Is that how you pronounce it? Lilias or Lilias? What a pretty name. Right, let's move on, shall we? Now this one is calling to me, this bunch of greens here. So last week we coloured these in and made some cards, but I wasn't quite sure what to do with these, so I put them aside. And then I found some of this Just Jade card, and I wanted to test out my new Christmas embossing folder. Elizabeth says, Lilias is my friend and she's watching. Ah, as in Lily. Ah, great. Lovely, welcome. So, excuse me. Get rid of that cough. I think what it is I'm coming to the end of my inhaler, and sometimes it brings my cough back because it's to do with my asthma. Right, so I want to do something with this, and I know it's a bit brave to do colour on colour. I think it's a bit of a bold move, or pattern on pattern, but I'm going to go for it. Now, because I've used this to cut something out, I'm going to just, actually if I just use my trimmer I'll get a straight edge. And I wanted to create a banner from this, and I was just so impressed with the way that these ferns embossed. I'll show you those now. They come in 2 packs. Have I got the packet there? I had the packet on my desk a minute ago. What have I done with it? I've moved it. But you get 2 of these. You get this lovely snowflake one, and then you get this fern one, and it will run through your mini cut and emboss machine if you are fortunate enough to own one. Right, if you've never seen a tab being cut before to do like a fishtail end, just estimate the middle of your card, and then you cut from the side to the centre of that notch. It's a really handy tip. Did I do that off screen? I hope you saw that. So now I've got that lovely tab. Oh, now sometimes paper falls into place and it goes where you wouldn't have expected it to go or think it should go, but I'm quite liking that off to the left now. So it's going to stay there, and I'm going to add these bits. I don't think I need this tiny strip anymore now that I've got these other pieces. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut this piece down to make sure that it fits my card, and we'll go white, keep it nice and plain. And I'm going to cut it down to my usual size of 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. So that is about 9.8 centimetres by 5 4.2 centimetres if you wanted the centimetres. Again, got more scraps. Now with these I could put these in the bin, sometimes I would save them, just depends. Sometimes they start getting on my nerves and they do go into the recycling. They don't go in the bin, they go into the recycling. Welcome Carol, lovely to see you. So not everybody likes green. You'll have to tell me if you're a green person or not. No, I think that measurement's either wrong or my white card is chopped down wrong. I'm going to just chop more of this. Bobby! What? He says, what? You what? He's a cheeky one, isn't he? So what happens at this point? Esther keeps cutting until she has no paper left. Oh dear. So I think when you're making the scrap cards, a couple of things. People say, oh, my scraps aren't that pretty. Well, that's because, you know, because I'm with Stampin Up and I get to buy this lovely product, my scraps are always going to be pretty because they do nice product. So that's one. The second thing I would say is group your colours together or your scraps together so that they're in some kind of colour coordinated theme or scheme. And you'll be surprised what colours you might end up mixing together. I'm loving black and white at the moment. I think black and white with a pop of colour goes with almost well, it does go with anything because it's a neutral base to work with. So let's add these in the mix. Oh, that side's nice as well. Oh, what do we think? I think I might turn it over to this side. Let's glue down that. So you can have the emboss or the deboss side. Now, this one has got a little bit lobbed off because this is where the end of the paper would have been. So that's why it's got an edge, but use it to your advantage. So I'm going to use it to my advantage. I might tuck that one slightly under because I've just cut in a way a bit too thin there. Or I could turn it down a bit, turn it down. Turn it down. Now let's have a look. No, I want them grouped together. Now, because I've already salvaged them, let's put these two together because I want them like that. Because I've salvaged this from a piece of DSP already, I'm going to chop a bit off this end from that last flower, but it's okay because we've got a lot of use out of it already. So I might even okay, I'm just going to like a bit of leafage. A tiny bit of leaf. Okay, I'm going to lob this off. I'm going to come in with my scissors because it's just easier sometimes with things like this. And then I'm going to pop that one up on dimensionals. Oh, we've got another Carol in the house. Hi, Carol. Welcome, everybody. It's lovely to see you today. Let me know what you've got planned for your day. Is it work? Is it housework? Is it a spot of crafting? Hopefully it is. Okay, that one's going to go in there. Okay, so we've got a nice lot. Now I could leave this blank or we could add a sentiment. And in fact, what's handy for the sentiment is the many messages. You could still add the leaf you've cut off. What have I done with it? I think I've... You're right, I could. And I put it in the nearest bin. These flowers are from the True Love Designer Series paper. Ah, night Trish, thank you for hopping on. Where should we stick these? Behind there? You're working now, says Joanna, having my nails done after work, and then I'm doing a Facebook Live. Amazing. Well, you have my permission to share your channel here and now. Right, this might be a bit too big. So I'm going to keep the leaf shape, but I'm going to doct it slightly. There we go, that'll do. So, talking about sentiments, many messages it's called, and it comes with a die that cuts them all out in one go. So that's the stamp set, and it comes with this die. And in the new catalogue, there is another stamp set that you can use with the die as well. So I've gone ahead and take those out for another, well, I'll sort that out later. So I've printed some on white on black and black embossed on white. So I've got all these lovely sentiments I can just dig and delve into should I fancy it. So we could have anything. This is where I delay and wonder what sentiment to have. Hooray, it's your birthday. So we can experiment with a white one or a black one. Just wanted to say that's quite nice because that's a bit kind of, could be anything. So we'll go for that, and wondering. No, I'll just go for that. Okay. So it's a great way of like not having to get all your sentiments out, but just having. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lob this. I didn't cut it very straight. Oh well. I'm going to move it over to the edge. That's better. The roundedness was throwing me. So if you follow Joanna Barnes on Perfectly, as in P-U-R-R, Perfectly Creative with Joanna. Hi, Austria in the house. We've got Eve. Welcome, Eve. Okay, I want to... Oh, I've got to show you my new storage. Ellie went to get her lunch and she didn't realise the time. Look, I'm quite proud of this. I bought these little plastic wallets and they perfectly house... Oh, I've had to chop a few down, but it's fine. These, my gems. So I'm rather excited about that. I'm just wondering whether we should go green gems or I think we go black because it's very, very sophisticated. Oh, I've got a lovely compliment. Well, hello, you gorgeous thing, says Jamie. Hello, you gorgeous thing, right back at you. Thanks, Jamie. Nice to see you. How's life treating you, lovey? Despite the you-know-what. Stick one up there. There we go. So I'm loving my little storage pockets. I think my comments are frozen on my other screen. So I just got to keep up with you. This one I think I'll leave as is. So there we go. Gone and done 2 cards. Right, I've got another one here, which I've got, which I used on a box, the pizza boxes, and I think I didn't stick this one down, obviously, but I thought this could make a nice card, and if you wanted to gift it with the box, that'll make a nice prezi. And then I've got this, which is that lovely black and white paper again, but the other side, and we could kind of combine this to create something. So I think if I used it on this card, it would be too much green. Or mint macaron, too much mint. And if I put it on purple, too much purple. So I'm thinking white is your friend. And it's so cold right now, says Jamie, right smack bang in the middle of winter. You have to cosy up at home. So to add a bit of feature to this, I'm just going to tear down the side. And this just creates a bit of texture with not much work. So I'm keeping close, rather than just letting it rip by itself, I'm keeping my thumb close to my other thumb in order to rip that. Could have the rip on the outside. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Then we've got a couple of clean edges going on. Okay, I quite like that, nice and simple. Then what we could do is we'll just use this as a stencil one more time. And I'm just going to stencil up the corners. So let's find my brushes. That will do, as they say. I'm dazzled by all your bling and pretty nail colours. Thank you. Now these little sparkly bits were inspired by the teacher at work. Had her nails done in like a bluey colour, and she had these little glitter bits. I was like, oh, I can do that with mine. So this is actually inspired by a card that we're going to make for my workshop. So I kind of was inspired by those sort of colours. Okay, let's crack a lacking on. This is Rich Razzleberry. It's a new one as that as well. So I'm just going to move my stencil into the corner and just give it a little bit of rubbing round. Oh, can you guys see that? And I'm going to do the same in this corner as well. Just gives it something. Something. I'm not sure about this. I think that maybe that way looks a little bit better. Let's see what else I've got on my desk. Oh, it's a post-it note. I thought it was I thought it was a bit of pool party. Double duty die cut, says Jamie. Yes. Good morning, Nydia. Lovely to catch you. Or lovely of you to have caught me. Other way round. Yes, I think I'm going to go for this lying down. I'm just going to cut that bit off. Oh, I quite like it like that. But the purpose of this is to... Goodness me, birds, what's all the noise? I'm trying to do a live here. Oh, I think they heard me. They went all quiet. Or just slightly off-centre things again. Sometimes just don't overthink it. Just, you know, if it looks all right, get it stuck down. Okay, so in order to stick this down, this was from the Dandelion or Dandy Garden Suite. So I'm just going to concentrate my glue on the borders. Not worry too much about getting glue in the centre because it's going to be stuck over anyway. So try not to get my fingers in the way. Okay, don't worry about the glue smudges. We have a glue eraser for that. So we're going to use these centre elements to make sure the stencil is stuck down. So it's actually just laser cut paper, but it's been very useful and very nice to use it for more than a stencil, for more than just a laser cut paper. It's been nice to use it as a stencil as well. So stick this one on. There we are. See, all the hard work's been done already. We're just accenting it with some extra scrappy embellishments. So let's see. Oh, hi, Mummy. My mum's popped on. Just using up some scraps today. It's got these lovely pale bluey ones which can act as green. Oh, I've got these. These will do nicely. Some genial gems. One's just slipped off. Perfect. So just add a bit of something. These have got little gold flecks in them as well. So pretty. There we go. Those little accents just make all the difference. You're just having your lunch and it's raining outside, she says. Well, it's cleared up here and I'm hoping it will stay clear. But mind you, we need the rain, don't we? It's all good. Right, how are we doing? Let's see, have we got anything else? This is good. I've cleared up my desk loads now because of that. I have got a few bits here. So we've done this one, we've done this one, and we've done this one. Let's have a look what else I've got here. Now I have got, here's one I made earlier, which I've had some triangles which I've stuck together. Now if you look a bit closely, you'll see that they're overlapping and there's a few gaps in them. So a good alternative to this. Hi there, Shirley. Thank you, Eve. The card looks great, she says. Oh, that looks great, said Fee. Hi, Fee. Nice to see you again. That bright cards are bringing some sunshine to my day. Oh, bless you, Jamie. Right, so let's move some things off the side here. And I'm going to run this through an embossing folder. Now we get to choose which one. So we could go for a texture. We could go for a brick wall, or my new favourite, which I've just got. I borrowed one off my friend and now I actually like this very much. It gives a nice painterly look. Yes, it is like a patchwork card, you're right. But to get rid of the gaps and to disguise it a bit, I'm going to run it through this. And this gives it a really nice textured surface. So I'm just going to try and bring the beast on and get the right layers that I need. So just going to lift you up out the way a second. Look, my desk is tidy already, it's lovely. It won't last. When you're crafting, you tend to it's just natural, the creative juices flow and more mess happens. But like I said, when you start working on a postage size area, it's really difficult. So we're going to run it through here. So that was plate 1 and 4, FYI. And then, let's bring you back down. Hold on to your lunches, your breakfasts and your dinners. Did I put it in the right way? Yes, I did. And you've got this lovely texture going on top. That's the other side, but it's kind of disguised a bit those gaps. So, to make this just pop a little bit more, I'm going to... In fact, I will show you a card that I did yesterday. And that was a scrappy card too. I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to keep the suspense. Now, where's that piece of paper gone? I'm going to get my Misty Moonlight. And I want this texture to show up more. So it shows up a little bit. But in order to make it show up more, I'm going to get my Misty Moonlight, which is the same colour as this. And I'm just going to tilt it gently and just rub it. Oops, I paused. Rub it across the top. And it changes it into this kind of grungy looking card. Okay, but wait, you got to keep going. You might think, oh, she spoiled it now, but you know, this is the point where I could add some more. I've got some strips here actually. Could add a long strip up the middle. Okay, I'm going to cut this off at an angle. I'll just do a bit of mix and matching. It's a bit bluey for my liking. I wasn't going to go so blue, but I've done it now. I know what it was. I re-inked my ink pad. But we'll keep going with it. And there may be a sentiment on here. Wow, what a transformation indeed. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily intending it to go so wild, but let's go with it. Let's go for a thank you, because that will fit. And let's go back with our Misty Moonlight. We're going to do it on colour. I think quite often we don't stamp a coloured ink onto a coloured card. There we go. I might try tearing this to give it a bit of something. Trim it down a bit. Okay, so it's getting there, I will add some more to this, but I'm going to stick this down. Ellie says she's not commenting much because she's on her phone. That's okay. Hi Christiane. Oh, thank you. She says, what a great idea to use all those little pieces on one card. Fern likes it. Oh good, thanks. She says, I'm loving it. Yeah, not convinced about the blue, but I think, don't you worry, don't stop. Just because you don't like something, sometimes you can make it work, and it's just figuring out how to make it work and what you need. So in my case, because I've overdone the blue a bit, I'm going to add some more white into the mix. In order to do that, now I've just found this that I embossed the other week. I'm wondering if I could fit a bit of a dragon. Oh yes, just about. I've chopped off his wing. But, so going with that embossed look still, just have that pop of white. So you've got the texture of the embossing, and that just helps to ground it a bit, to come back to our nice white space. So we want odd numbers, 3s and 5s, so generally your friend. There we go. Take a swig of drink. I'll croak my way through. Right, so these ones are going to get stuck down. Thank you, Fee. Fee says, wow, really nice work. Like I said, it's just working out sometimes what is it? What does it need? Why is it not working? And sometimes you forget to allow for some white space sometimes, to let your project breathe. Give it a bit of white space. And then for the dragonfly, I'm going to pop the wings up on one side. Then once this gets mounted on white card, it'll look quite artsy. And just following the lines of those. Oh, I've done it on the wrong side. That side was supposed to be lifted up. Never mind, it's done. It's meant to be. Shirley says great textures there, the white breaks it up. It does need the white to break it up, I think. Otherwise it's just too heavy, isn't it? So if I mounted this on coloured card, it'd just be a bit too strong, a bit too overkill with colour, I think. But, you know, let white do the framing. If you're a new demonstrator or if you're just starting out with card making, white is your friend. I remember years ago when I was card making and I wanted to sell my cards in the shop, and I did all my cards on black just because it was a colour that stood out. And I remember her saying to me to do it on a white base because it just stands out a lot better. So I promised you I was going to show you the other card I did. This one I made yesterday, same idea, patchwork, embossed, and then went over it with a bit of black, and it gave it that really kind of fun, kind of artsy, grungy look to it. So 2 different cards, same technique, and just put some punched shapes on top that I had left over. So yeah, that's quite fun to do. Now if you are inspired by any cards that I make, please do join my SSC Inspired and Shared group on Facebook. It's a place to be able to share your inspiration from cards that I've made or anything that you've made with Stampin' Up. So I've just finished with this card here. So a couple of weeks ago on YouTube I did a design really making this stand out and being bold. In fact, I could maybe show you those quickly. And I did a whole sheet of this and coloured it in. And so from this has been the basis of copper embossed. It turned into these beauties here. And I made several cards and coloured them in, and they looked like a tropical paradise by the end of it. But when I started just colouring in the centres, and I was like, oh, I want to stop there because they looked nice as they were. So I think with these, I'm just going to colour in the centres. So what colour would you like these to be coloured in? They look like silk, says Shirley. Oh, what a compliment. Thank you. That's a striking effect, says Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. So let me know what colour you'd like these flowers coloured in, and I'm going to make it the last card for today. And I'm going to get my blender brushes down. Let's see. Oh, Ellie won. I did a giveaway. I gave away 3 of the cards, and Ellie was one of the randomly selected winners. She goes, I have one of those right in front of me now. Thanks, Esther. So tell me, what colour would you like on here? Pink, yellow and turquoise. I was thinking turquoise. So we'll do polished pink because we've had a suggestion for polished pinks. We're going to go different colours. We'll go polished pink. I think I'll go... Oh, should we do it inspired by this other card? We could go Bermuda again. And since I've got them out, I'll go daffodil. So yellow, pink and turquoise. Okay, so what I might do, rather than doing each of the flowers different colour, I might shall we do it opposite? So I'm going to do, you want to do Coastal Cabana? Okay, alright Shirley. I'll swap out your colour because you didn't get your other colour choice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the flowers blue, but then I'm going to work out similar to what I did before. I have an idea. Let's work with it. Could double layer each. I'll tell you what I could do is we're going to go in with a bit of Coastal Cabana. Around the edges of my flowers as much as I can, go around the edges. Jamie says 2 colours in each, mix and match. Well, I'm going to try and use all the colours. Let's bring you in a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to pick up the Bermuda Bay and come in the centre with those lovely deep aquas. I'm going to tilt my brush a little bit so that I'm kind of dabbing the end of my brush, and then I've got a little bit more control of where that goes. I love copper and turquoise, or copper and blue. Copper and blue. I like that mix. Okay, so I'm thinking of radiating out to yellow, because yellow is that nice primary colour to join those two colours together. So blue and the yellow would make a greeny colour. Doesn't a bit of ink make such a huge difference, says Jamie? Doesn't it just? And then we're going to go polished pink. So a red or a pink with a yellow would make an orangey colour. So even when you blend the ink, sometimes you get that lovely colour merging in between. Jamie says, I love how you get bonus colours. I'm a lazy inker. I'm going to mix, I don't want to completely take off the colour, but when you mix those, you get that lovely bright rainbow effect. It's interesting, isn't it? What you might have planned for a card, sometimes it completely can look different just depending on colour suggestions. Looks like a sunset, says Jamie. Yeah, it's nice and bright and tropical, isn't it? Okay, so to add a bit more depth, or a cocktail, yes, cocktail, I'm going to bring out my lovely stencils. And I'm thinking this one would suit. So these stencils come in a pack of 4. So you get these cute flower ones, which go, I think they go with a stamp set called In Symmetry, or they're very similar. Then you've got these lovely doily shaped ones here, which got 4 in each corner. Then you've got this geometric shaped one, and then I'm going to use this one here, which looks a bit like Art Deco-y, or a bit like mermaid scales. So I'm just going to concentrate those on along the bottom, going back in with my pink colour. Be sure to hold down your stencil if you haven't taped it down. Whoa, look at that! And you get that lovely tone on tone look. And then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I hope that I've got enough ink on my brush. Giving it a good rub. Just going to cross over the border. Yum, says Fee. Gorgeous, says Trish. And there we go. It's amazing how it shines through the stencil. Sometimes you don't think it would do that, but it does. Okay, let's get this. Have a look. Oh, I tell you what goes with this would be that lovely rainbow paper. Wondering about, got a tiny bit of this left, or I've even got some of this. No, too much. Making a nice little sentiment in the bottom corner. Mermaid, this is such a tropical beachy background, says Jamie. Beautiful colour combo, says Carol. Lovely, says Elizabeth. Thank you for your lovely comments. Needs a little umbrella, doesn't it? Needs a little cocktail umbrella, says Jamie. So just again using that white to break up the colour a little bit. Now, of course you can colour this ribbon in. I didn't do a very good job of that, but there we go. Twisted my ribbon along the way. Might have to undo that. It's going to bother me. So the nice thing about this crinkled seam binding ribbon. It's already crinkled. It's going to tie that as tight as possible, each time holding it down. There we go, much happier with that. Ellie says she wouldn't mind a cocktail right now. Some sugar around the edge, yeah, like one of those cocktail glasses. Could put some of that paste, couldn't we? Embossing paste. So I reckon a little white sentiment. Hooray, it's your birthday. I'm so happy to celebrate this moment with you. That's nice because it's really cheery, isn't it? That's nice, I like that. Slice of citrus, says Jamie. Jamie's gone off to an island now, in her head. An island full of cocktails and hot beaches. Okay, try not to take my nail varnish off when I'm doing this. And finish it up. There. Good. Wow, that has definitely helped my desk to be a lot clearer than it was earlier. And let's see what we've got left. So I've got a few. Now these can just go back in my drawer now. That's fine. I'm happy with that going in my drawer. Just maybe a potential card here. But yeah, that can all now happily go in the drawer now that I've cleared the rest. So I'll just go through what we made today. So coming back to the start. So I managed to make my St David's Day card. Sorry, my camera movement was a bit jittery there. Made my St David's Day card for my friend for next year. Very organised. Made the greeny bluey turquoisey card with the just wanted to say saying from the many messages. I used that succulent piece that I had ready for a pizza box, which I then decided I'm going to put on a card, and now I've got a matching card to go with it. And then the embossed card that we ran through and really grungied it up with some ink and toned it back with some white dragonflies. And then our tropical chic card right there. Hi SN, everyone will watch on replay, says Linda. Linda, you've just got a sneak peek. But yeah, happy for you to watch on replay. So we managed 5 cards. Wow, that was good going. Thank you for sticking with me, everybody. Oh, look at that, on the hour. That's quite good going, I reckon. Oh, you're supposed to turn. There we go. So I'm going to have to watch comments down there and look here for a second. So I'm back on your screens tonight at 9 o'clock British summertime. So if you want to work that out, go on Google and you can go to the time converter to find out what time that is where you are. You might be in bed, you might be awake, you might just be waking up. Either way, I'll be happy for you to join me or catch the replay over on YouTube. So take care and I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for your company today. I'll be back again hopefully next Tuesday. If I am back, like I said, it will have to be a really super quick card, maybe some simple cards, simple stamping, something like that. If I can, I will try and get on for 15 minutes or so to prove to you that I can make a card in 15 minutes. Thank you for the love heart. Lovely to see you. Take care. God bless. Bye for now, everybody. Oh, Linda's just waking. All right, bye.